Hey gang, it's your DM Drakeen here with another homebrew. Today we're going to be talking about something I like to call the don'ts, the things I really don't do in my games. Um, all of these are very basic, so let's get to it. The first, I don't use any playtest material. This includes unearthed arcana. I feel like playtest material should be playtested by people who, you know, uh, I don't know, are play testing it without running the game. And if you're running like games for people you don't know, if you're running professional games, I feel like using play test material is really risky because it hasn't been play tested. And I feel like there's a place to do that, and I would rather not do trial and error at my table. So no playtest material. Also, no outside homebrew. It's pretty much, I do use some homebrew things. I'm very, very prejudiced and selective about what I use, and I take advice from players whether it's working or not. I'm not, rigid or, um, very strict, but I just, I'd like to hear from you guys how things are working or not working for that matter, that are in the game. I don't use maiming or lingering injuries. I feel like it's a game. There's no need to be incredibly realistic. Except in certain, very extreme features, or situations. Um, I really don't want my players sitting down at the table with the fact that they lost a hand last week. That doesn't, I don't know. I wouldn't want to play in a game like that myself, so I don't want to ask my players to do it. Um, so no lingering injuries or maiming. I don't roll for abilities because there's the disparities. I've seen crazy disparities. I had a player roll like three eights one time when they were rolling for ability scores, and some other just pretty average numbers. I've seen that played out on streams. Like I think one of the Roll20 streams that I think Adam Koba was DMing, the cleric had like a bunch of eights. Macaria, yeah. And I don't know. I just think, point buy is probably the best system. It's like kind of levels the playing field. You don't have one player looking at the other one's, wow, you got great ability scores. Mine suck. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't. Players kind of sizing themselves up against each other. Like what's the point of that? I don't see the point of that. So just, I believe in point buy. Um, no rolling for hit points either. Same thing. You know, I think the only reason to roll for hit points is if you're running a stream and it's just more exciting. Also, I think if you are going to roll for hit points, I believe in rolling all the dice every level. So, re-rolling your first level, second level, third level, and then when you hit fourth level, re-rolling your first, second, third, and then your fourth, and then fifth level, you roll and add them all together, and then it kind of nullifies the ones that or anything that you roll, or you can re-roll the ones in addition to doing that. But in general, I don't just take the average. You know, numerically, you're ahead of the game. No rolling for hit points. I feel like it's just too much time. I just want to get to playing, basically. Um, no critical ones. I mean, I don't understand the point of doing that really because it's just a number. I know it's a really low number, and some things specify if you fail by five or more and that sort of thing. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just like, okay, you rolled a one on your to hit roll, your sword breaks, or it flies across the room, or I think that's, ones are fairly common. I mean, you know, there's a 5% chance every time that you'll roll one. Um, I had a game recently where I rolled three 20s in a row against my players. They were like, "What are you doing?" So it's not impossible. You know, so likewise, you could roll three ones. Um, so punishing people, I think rolling one is bad enough without punishing the players. with additional effects and things. Um, no private death saves. I understand the logic behind you wouldn't know how far the person is along, um, how many saves they have left or whatever. I get all that. I understand why you would run a roll it privately and send it to the DM or whatever. Just roll it in the open. I also found like this helps because a lot of times when you're looking at the field, you can't necessarily tell who's down to like 3 hit points or not. And I feel like rolling the death saves out in the open is like, oh, okay. You can't really say you didn't see that. Um, I mean, you can, I guess, but it's more of a chance of people saying, hey, someone's dying here. They might need help. They might need a heal. And I feel like what's gained from, you know, rolling them privately isn't really worth it. Um, it's a game. Just roll the dice in where everybody can see them. Um, no evil alignments. I have this one. It's a lot of times DM we make rules for all kinds of players. Like if you don't know who's in your games, um, we've all been and many of us have been at tables where someone who's of evil alignment or playing evil alignment will announce that they're lawful evil or use this to justify some sort of behavior or reason for themselves behaving badly. If I could, I would probably just erase this altogether, but sometimes it does, alignments do come up in the game. Um, but I feel like just for my own, uh, games, I just want to guard against, um, bad behavior. I'm not saying everyone is, that way, but I've run into it, and I'm not calling, out any names or anything. I just think that just choose something, if you want to play your character with evil tendencies and play a different alignment, I don't have an issue with that. But no evil alignments. And lastly, multi-classing. I feel like the game um, is not designed with multi-classing in mind. It seems like, especially with the most recent edition of the order domain cleric, um, you get so many benefits at first level that just for taking one level of order cleric, I feel like who wouldn't want to take that, as you're leveling up. So I don't really, I don't see the thought process or the careful planning of using multi-classing in 5e. Um, I just see it, I feel like the game runs much more smoothly if people pick one class and they stick to it. Um, I haven't mandated this last rule yet, but I feel like I'm headed in that direction. And I don't know. I just want to know what you guys think about this as well. If you care to comment, I would appreciate your feedback. I'm just trying to run games that are simple, enjoyable, and light games to play. I feel like light is very important. I don't want to burden people with all kinds of nonsense. I realize a lot of people like to min max and optimize their um, characters and all that, but I feel like you can do that within the things that I've listed here. I don't know. Am I right? Am I wrong? I understand people love to do what they love to do. So I'm not, saying this is for everybody, but these are the kind of rules I'm looking to implement in my games. And I appreciate any feedback you have, and I'm open to change. So um, please like and subscribe. And these are the games I'm still trying to fill. We still need a player for a tomb game. Uh, our players are in a real rough spot right now, so if anybody wants to join, and we still have only one player for my rhyme game on Wednesdays, so I'm looking for some more players for that. Anyway, I hope to see you at the gaming table. Take care.